When dealing with an emergency generator installation at a single-family home, specifically with a 175 amp circuit breaker and a generator connected to the main disconnect through an automatic transfer switch, the question arises as to which National Electrical Code chart to use for conductor sizing, either 310.15b6 or 310.16. Section 310.15b6 of the National Electrical Code pertains to the sizing of service entrance, lateral, and feeder conductors for single-family dwellings. This section allows for reduced conductor sizes compared to the standard ampacity table 310.16 under specific conditions. In contrast, 310.16 provides the ampacity of conductors based on their temperature rating and conductor material, without the specific allowances for single-family dwellings found in 310.15b6. Considering that the generator output in this scenario can be considered the main power feeder to the dwelling unit during an outage, 310.15b6 becomes relevant. This section allows for a 1/0 American wire gauge copper conductor to be used with a 175 amp circuit breaker, which is smaller than what 310.16 would typically require. Now examining 310.16, which is used to determine conductor ampacity based on temperature rating and conductor material. For conductors with a 75 degrees Celsius temperature rating, which is common for typical lugs, a 2/0 American wire gauge copper conductor would typically be required to handle a 175 amp circuit. The National Electrical Code Handbook provides clarification, stating that for single-family dwellings the provisions of 310.15b6 override the ampacity requirements outlined in 310.16. Therefore, based on the National Electrical Code Handbook clarification, it is recommended to use chart 310.15b6 for this specific situation. This allows for the use of a 1/0 American wire gauge copper conductor, even though the 75 degrees Celsius lug temperature rating would typically necessitate a larger conductor size according to 310.16. However, it's important to consider a few additional factors. If the generator is rated to produce more than 146.5 amps, the conductor size may need to be increased to accommodate the generator's full output capacity. The actual load on the generator should also be evaluated to ensure that the 1/0 American wire gauge conductor is adequate for the anticipated demand. To elaborate further, let's dissect the nuances of 310.15b6 and 310.16, providing a more granular understanding of their applications. First, 310.15b6 offers a pathway to use smaller conductors for the entire service or feeder calculation in dwelling units based on specific overcurrent protection limitations. This acknowledges that dwelling unit loads are often intermittent and non-continuous, allowing for a reduction in conductor size without compromising safety. This section is particularly useful when dealing with generators, as they often serve as a backup power source and may not be subjected to continuous full load operation. Secondly, when applying 310.15b6, it is crucial to understand the limitations and conditions associated with its use. The reduced conductor sizes are typically applicable only to the service entrance conductors, service lateral conductors, or feeder conductors that serve as the main power supply to a dwelling unit. Any branch circuits within the dwelling unit must still comply with the standard ampacity requirements outlined in 310.16. Furthermore, the overcurrent protection device, such as the 175 amp circuit breaker in this scenario, must be sized appropriately to protect the conductor from overload. In contrast, 310.16 provides a comprehensive table of conductor ampacities based on various factors, including conductor material, insulation type, and ambient temperature. These ampacities are derived from rigorous testing and engineering calculations, ensuring that conductors can safely carry the specified amount of current without exceeding their temperature ratings. When using 310.16, it's important to select the appropriate conductor size based on the load requirements and the temperature rating of the terminations and equipment to which the conductor will be connected. For example, if the generator's output breaker is rated for 75 degrees Celsius terminations, the conductor ampacity must be based on the 75 degrees Celsius column in 310.16. This is to prevent overheating and potential failure of the terminations. Now, to synthesize the information, consider the following scenario. A single-family dwelling unit is equipped with a 35 kilowatt generator that is intended to supply power to the entire house during a utility outage. The generator is connected to the main service panel through an automatic transfer switch, ensuring a seamless transition between utility power and generator power. The generator is protected by a 175 amp circuit breaker. The question is, what size conductors should be used to connect the generator to the main service panel? If we were to strictly adhere to 310.16, using a 75 degrees Celsius ampacity table, we would likely need a 2/0 American wire gauge copper conductor to handle the 175 amp load. However, since this is a single family dwelling unit and the generator is serving as the main power supply during an outage, we can consider using 310.15 B6. According to 310.15 B6, a 1/0 American wire gauge copper conductor would be permitted for a 175 amp overcurrent device in this application. This can result in significant cost savings and ease of installation, especially when dealing with long conductor runs or limited conduit space. Nevertheless, before making a final decision, it is crucial to carefully evaluate the load requirements of the dwelling unit and the generator's output capacity. If the dwelling unit has a high demand load, such as multiple air conditioning units or electric heating systems, it may be necessary to upsize the conductors to ensure that they can handle the maximum anticipated load. Additionally, if the generator is rated for more than 146.5 amps, the conductor size should be increased accordingly to match the generator's full output capacity. Furthermore, it is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. They can provide valuable insights and guidance based on the specific circumstances of the installation. To reinforce the concepts, let's examine some common scenarios where 310.15 B6 can be applied effectively. Firstly, in a typical residential service upgrade, where the existing service conductors are being replaced with larger conductors to accommodate increased load demands, 310.15 B6 can be used to reduce the conductor size while still providing adequate ampacity for the dwelling unit. Secondly, in a new construction project, where the electrical system is being designed from scratch, 310.15 B6 can be incorporated into the design to optimize conductor sizes and reduce material costs. Thirdly, in a renovation project, where existing electrical circuits are being extended or modified, 310.15 B6 can be used to ensure that the new conductors are properly sized and protected. However, it is important to note that 310.15 B6 is not a one-size-fits-all solution. There are certain situations where it may not be appropriate to apply this section. For example, in a commercial building where the loads are typically more continuous and predictable, it is generally recommended to adhere to the standard ampacity requirements outlined in 310.16. Similarly, in an industrial facility where the electrical system is subjected to harsh environmental conditions or high levels of electrical noise, it may be necessary to use larger conductors to ensure reliable operation. Now let's consider other factors that can influence conductor sizing decisions, such as ambient temperature, voltage drop, and conductor dirting. Ambient temperature refers to the temperature of the surrounding environment in which the conductors are installed. High ambient temperatures can reduce the ampacity of conductors, as the heat generated by the current flow can cause the insulation to degrade more quickly. To compensate for high ambient temperatures, it may be necessary to direct the conductor ampacity according to the correction factors provided in the National Electrical Code. Voltage drop refers to the reduction in voltage that occurs along the length of a conductor due to its resistance. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. To minimize voltage drop, it may be necessary to upsize the conductors or use conductors with lower resistance. Conductor dirting refers to the reduction in conductor ampacity that is required when multiple conductors are bundled together in a raceway or cable. When conductors are bundled together, they generate more heat, which can reduce their ampacity. To compensate for conductor bundling, it may be necessary to direct the conductor ampacity according to the adjustment factors provided in the National Electrical Code. To provide a real-world example of how these factors can affect conductor sizing, let's consider a scenario where a 100 amp feeder is being installed in a hot and humid environment with an ambient temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The conductors are being installed in a conduit with 6 other current-carrying conductors. In this scenario, the conductor ampacity would need to be directed for both ambient temperature and conductor bundling. According to the National Electrical Code, the ampacity correction factor for an ambient temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit is 0.82. The ampacity adjustment factor for 7 to 9 current-carrying conductors in a raceway is 0.7. Therefore, the directed ampacity of the conductor would be 100 amps times 0.82 times 0.7, which equals 57.4 amps. This means that a conductor with an ampacity of at least 57.4 amps would be required for this installation. To put all of this information into perspective, it is essential to remember that conductor sizing is not an exact science. It involves a combination of code requirements, engineering judgment, and practical considerations. The goal is to select conductors that are safe, reliable, and cost-effective for the specific application. The National Electrical Code provides a framework for making these decisions, but it is up to the electrical professional to apply their knowledge and experience to ensure that the installation meets all applicable standards. In conclusion, the determination of which National Electrical Code chart to use, either 310.15b6 or 310.16 for conductor sizing in a single-family dwelling with a generator depends on several factors. Section 310.15b6 offers reduced conductor sizes for service entrance, lateral, and feeder conductors supplying the main power feeder to dwelling unit, acknowledging the intermittent and non-continuous nature of dwelling unit loads. This section can be particularly beneficial when dealing with generators, which often serve as backup power sources. Section 310.16, on the other hand, provides a comprehensive table of conductor ampacities based on conductor material, insulation type, and ambient temperature. When using 310.16, it is crucial to select the appropriate conductor size based on load requirements and the temperature rating of terminations and equipment. The National Electrical Code Handbook clarifies that for single-family dwellings, 310.15b6 overrides the ampacity requirements of 310.16. However, it is essential to consider additional factors such as the generator's output capacity, the dwelling unit's load requirements, ambient temperature, voltage drop, and conductor directing. Ultimately, the decision of which chart to use requires a careful evaluation of the specific circumstances of the installation and consultation with a qualified electrical professional.